A long time ago, I had no successful battles. My killboard was all ketchup. But slowly and surely, I became the scourge of wormholes, the commander of infuriating faction warfare fleets, the sneaky nullsec explorer killer, and the sometime pretty explosion that I am now. What advice would I give to those who haven't cracked PvP yet? What follows are the multitudinous answers to that question. For Eaglefirefly, I'm Marvin Gankhouse. And now, we continue our look at 10+x things I wish I'd known about PvP. Coming in at part 2 and point 7, which is very important and often overlooked. You see... Oh my Bob, what is wrong with that young fella now? Every time I try to record something, he's going on away up there. Isaac David Gerard Newton, what is all this noise? You know I'm recording tonight, don't you?
Yes, Mr. Gankhouse, but...
What is it?
I'm very scared.
Scared of what?
I can't tell you. It's a secret.
This has been going on for weeks now. Would it help if I told you a story?
Yes, I think it would.
Well, listen up and I'll get one going for you. So, once upon a time, there was a little boy.
Was his name Isaac Newton?
It was Isaac Newton, and Isaac Newton went out one day to fly about in space.
And did he fly around really fast?
He did fly really fast, and he had a very nice time. And he was so tired, he did a big yawn like this. And he went straight to bed, and everyone who was trying to record segments for their YouTube show had the peace and quiet they deserve, and they all lived happily ever after. Do you feel better now, Isaac Newton?
Yes.
That's good. Now go to sleep, and I'll see you bright and early for breakfast.
Marvin?
That's Mr. Gankhouse.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Gankhouse?
Yes?
I'd like to tell you the secret now.
Alright, fine, what is it?
I see dead people.
In your dreams, is it?
No.
While you're awake?
Yes.
Dead people like blown up in capsules in space?
No, flying around, ganking ships like regular people.
How often do you see them?
All the time.
Maybe we need to go see Dr. Ingredient and up your doses.
No, not Dr. Ingredient. I feel better now.
Right, well, okay. Are you going to go to sleep now?
Yes, Mr. Marvin. I feel very sleepy, and I feel like being quiet.
Very good. Settle in then.
Alright.
Isaac Newton, is that your phone beside you there?
Oh, yes.
And are you watching our special report on Gank Marvin?
Yes.
Is Gank Marvin the dead person you keep seeing flying around ganking ships like regular people?
Yes.
Oh my Bob, now listen to me. First of all, that's just a video and there's no such thing as ghosts outside of covert research facilities. Secondly, we don't even know if Gank Marvin died in that explosion that time. He may have had any number of spare clones around the galaxy. You know we're still looking for him, and when we find him, you'll be the first to know and you'll be able to hang out with him again.
What if we can't find him?
Well, then you have your awesome new friends like me, unnamed female pilot from episode 2, Crazy Billy and his no brother good-in-law Crazy Bobby, Dr. Stefan Ingredient, Concy Marvin. Nothing, get back to work. They all told me. They have great time for you, by the way. Aren't you happy to have them all as friends?
Yes.
And do you feel better now?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Gankhouse. And Mr. Gankhouse?
Yes, Isaac Newton?
Can I have a biscuit?
If I don't hear another sound out of this room and you go to sleep immediately, if not sooner, and then in the morning, if you're very good and finish up all your breakfast, then you can have one biscuit. Now, I don't want to hear any more on the subject. Sleep well.
And what are they called biscuits in the great nation of America?
They call them cookies.
Good night, Mr. Gankhouse.
Good night, Isaac Newton. Right, let's get back to it. And now, on with the show. Oh dang, I better close that door. 1 sec. tracking speed. This is important and I really wish I'd known about it. The DPS value on your fitting window shows what happens if everything goes right, but what if you can't actually hit anything? At the start, at least when you're talking turrets, tracking speed is king. Drones have tracking speed too, and if it's missiles you have, then things are a little different, but generally the bigger your weapon and the longer its range, the worse your tracking is going to be. Less of an issue for big targets, but if you're in a frigate, you'll be going after frigates. And they can employ a strategy called speed tank, or using the transversal. Basically, the faster something can move perpendicular to the direction in which you're trying to shoot, the easier it is for the target to out-track what's shooting at it. If something is headed straight at you or straight away from you, the transversal is 0. The more it deviates from that course, the faster it's going relative to your turret's tracking speed. If you fit long-range medium beam lasers, you're going to have a hard time hitting a frigate or drone at speed. Pulse lasers track much better. You can see your tracking speed by hovering over a fitted turret or launcher on your ship or on a simulation. Get it up high. Active tank. One thing I wish I'd known and understood more is active tank. You can restore EHP once it's been blown off your ship. Depending on your tank type, a shield booster or armor repairer is a great thing. They use a lot of power, but most serious PvP pilots use them. One trick is to fit one normal and one ancillary repairer or booster, which uses a consumable like capacitor booster charges or nanite repair paste. The ancillaries are very powerful, but the drawback is that once they get into the reload cycle, you'll be waiting around for a little while to get your full active tank back online, and PvP can start and end in very small amounts of time. Passive tank is just getting your EHP as high as possible. Armor won't regen automatically, but shields will very slowly. The info page, or hovering over the module, will show you how much EHP is restored over its cycle time, which is variable. But come over to this drop down here and select either shield boost rate or armor repair rate as applicable, and you'll see the true figure of shield or armor repped per second. Most of my cheapo frigates have around 15 to 20 per second. Level 4 missions require 200 per second. But we're getting into a complicated curmudgeon here. Your resists. Remember resists from the last episode? Well, they can mitigate a lot of the incoming damage, so by raising those, you can rely less on your rep or booster. To simplify, I would suggest that every PvP ship should have an active tank module and as much in the way of resists as possible. Signature radius is how big and easy to hit your ship appears to enemy weapons, and it defines what percentage of the attack's damage your ship will take and how quickly you can be locked. We're getting advanced here, so I'll just put a pin in this one, but remember that micro warp drives increase your signature radius by 500%. And that will present you with a dilemma. Maybe you can out-track the enemy weapons with that speed, but if they have good tracking, then maybe you should shut the micro warp drive down. What to do? And too late, you should have acted faster, now your ship is gone. Haha. Scan resolution. Many capsuleers, especially explorers, do not wish to engage in non-consensual PvP and will attempt to escape when you uncloak next to them. Scan resolution, visible here, is how fast you can lock a ship. A lot of different factors can affect it, but you don't need to worry about that, just get it up high. Anything over 500 can lock up a frigate pretty quickly. Higher is better, and my best ship has 997. You can improve it with the signature analysis skill or the following modules: sensor booster, signal amplifier, or the best one, targeting system subcontroller. The compare tool. If you're having a hard time figuring out values for any of this, then open the compare tool in utilities, drop the modules in there, check off this little doodler that says only show attributes that differ, and it's not going to make it simple, but it will be a lot easier. It works on everything. Stick with frigates. I would heartily advise getting into PvP and nothing bigger than a destroyer, and frigates are probably the best option, because if you lose one you just buy another one. And that ties in very well with the first rule of Eve. If you don't know it already, you're going to learn it right now from these good people. Hey folks, what is the first rule of Eve?
Never fly a ship you can't afford to lose.
The number one rule of Eve. ISK is temporary. PTSD is forever.
Alright, what about the other one?
Oh, the other one. Don't fly what you can't afford to lose.
Thank you.
Because you will.
If you don't want it blopped, don't undock.
If you don't want it exploded, don't fly it.
Don't undock. Don't fly what you can't afford to lose. Oh, another one, if you want it protected, keep it in.
If you don't want to lose it, don't use it.
Don't fly what you can't afford to lose.
Well, you've been told now. Don't come crying to me if someone gouges your eyes out. Last week we had an aberration in the audio feed for this next segment, and I'd like to assure you that this week will not be a repeat of that unfortunate travesty. And now it's time for that most magical time of the show, PvP Shenanigans! It's PvP Shenanigans. This week we have a solo wormhole kill. I had to chase the guy around a bit before I caught up with him, he was pretty wild. It's a dirty ship, almost ashamed to blow up such a venerable old dubbin, but then again, it's had a good innings.
Warp drive active.
I turned the ECM on him, not thinking that since I was the only one there, he could target me no problem. Live and learn. Poor guy panicked and lost probes. I'd like to go easy on these guys sometimes, but I don't make the rules. I just think them up and apply them to my way of doing things. And the capsule got away. Well, no matter. The pilot had a Zxwin analyzer fitted. People, please don't use these silly devices. They suck and they cost too much. This one dropped and netted me 200 million ISK. You know what? On second thoughts, people, do use them and go in wormholes. And we'll keep it short this week because I'm sure you're busy people with ships to destroy. If you'd like to see more kills than that next week, let us know in the comments. There's no shortage of footage. You'll be pleased to learn, I'm sure, that Isaac Newton slept very well after all that. I just checked on him and he's still trying to snore the house into dust. Thank you to all the lovely people who helped us with this week's episode. You are immortalized. Thanks to you for watching. And from all of us at Eaglefirefly, take care and good night.